Hello, this is DarkElf85 on YouTube, or HektontheMage's on PSN, and welcome back to Shadowrun, Dragonfall Director's Cut. I hope everyone is doing okay. I forgot to edit the videos on YouTube today while I was just watching crap on there after meeting with a colleague. Yeah. Totally forgot. I want to check out the other way. Just to see, even though I think there's really anything over here, but you never know. Oh, there's something. The cardboard box is filled with makeshift bedding. A homeless person might be using it to keep warm at night. Search the box. Find a basic, uncertified credit stick underneath the pillow. Leave. I'm not going to take it. Now if it's a homeless person's area. Oh, that's it. I'm amazed that they allow me to walk through here. But, anywho, what was the issue that yesterday when I was out after my counselor appointment, I was at a coffee shop, of course, doing my thing. Actually, I was updating some lists for classes, and my left knee decided to pop while walking down the stairs. And since then, it's kind of hurting today, and I'm just like, I hope it just popped in an odd way while walking down the stairs. It's not really warm and tingly like when I had my ACL ripped, so I don't think it's the ACL. I hope it's not, and it's not being really crazy. I did try to take some Tylenol earlier, and then this morning I ended up taking some like Tylenol, but not Tylenol. I don't know what it's called, because trying to read medical jargon that's already confusing enough when you read it in English or Latin, and then trying to read it in Korean isn't very helpful. Just saying. Burger Gang up ahead. Maybe there's a way around. Probably not, but oh, maybe there is. Interesting. But yeah, so I tried to deal with that. Well, I mean, it's been blah today. I don't know if I'm gonna go out tomorrow, just because of my freaking knee. Okay, come on, game. Let me see the hole. I just want to get around here. But yeah, that was a thing. I want to turn the fan off because that's blowing the crap. That's making me cough. But the AC is going to turn off in half an hour. And even when the AC is blowing here in the living room with the fan on, with the fan off, it doesn't feel cool. That makes sense. So yeah. Would I be able to walk over here? Apparently so. Don't know how that works. They're just homeless people, right? The engine's still warm. Colors on the tail clearly mark. Okay, well, thanks, game. Ah. The warehouse door is a windowless slab of reinforced densiplast. Okay. A keypad entry system sits to one side. Why do I not have the ability to use my third eye like I did earlier and try to see the codes that were, you know, fingerprinted? Or the buttons that were pushed with the fingerprint, you know, with the fingerprint trace. Why do I not have that ability here? Got any ideas, Eiger? Looks secure. Looks secure. She examines the heavy door, scowling. I might be able to blast it open with a controlled explosive without spooking anyone inside. Probably best if we could just find the code. Don't know how that works. That probably means we gotta destroy some baddies. Probably. Lady. I guess the gang people were just down there. I got pots and pans. You need pots and pans? I'll be back. Never mind. Here. What? What do you want? I'm new in town. What's hot around here? Nothing. Not a goddamn thing. All there is to do in Hekton Nest is get your arse beat by gangs until you decide to join one. Why don't you move? There are safer keys not far from here. That takes money. Rent ain't free unless you're suggesting I start living on the street. At least here I have a roof over my head. Just looking for some information. I bet you are. I've seen your type before. You're probably looking for someone or looking for something that's been stolen. Either way, the Rambok won't be happy about you sticking your nose into Hekton Nest. Alright, I'm leaving. Lady. No, but some info would be nice. You seen any new friends of the Rambok show up lately? Yeah, sure, I have. What's it to ya? The woman's eyes look you up and down, clearly waiting for you to make an offer. I'm not paying you shit. I'll make things very bad for the Rambok once I know where this friend is staying. She leans in for a whisper. They're just down the street in the warehouse with the grass in front. New guy showed up a few days ago. Seems like a bigwig. They've been moving product through there ever since. Seen it, it's locked up tight. Sure, I could help you out for a price. Gosh darn it. Try etiquette again. I'll be doing you a favor once I get the code, you know. That code here. Now this time, pay up or no deal. Wow! I can't even drop down the 5. Fuck you! But that's probably because the other one was just for the information, not extra stuff. 500, no less. I've got to make a living, you know. Fine. And over 500 new yen. The code is 292. something. I don't know the last number. That'll get you most of the way, though. Enjoy. Wait, how do you even know the first two? Okay, got it. 292 something. Did I even pop up on my screen? No, it didn't. That's poppycock. I think you might get the information if you destroy the gang members, but I don't really feel like doing it. 2920 2921 2922 2923. Seriously, I don't know how she got the first three digits. 2924. There we go. The door unlocks. The warehouse. Wow, really? Lovely. In there, that's our man. Where? Oh, right there. What did they say here? Eiger must survive. Ooh, baby. Heavy. Really, game? 94%, and you're like, fuck you. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, now they have HP. God damn it, you're still alive. That's annoying. How do I get to that door? Apparently it's not through there. Not sure how I'm supposed to get through. Damn it. Damn it! Well, okay, good. I got hit the other one. Actually, I think you can run through there. All right, let's try this again. I think you do run that way. Because you can screw this up if he runs away. And I don't want him to run away. Ow, that one did 20, motherfucker. No, stay over there. Don't come over near me. Oh, he came out. Oh, how lovely. Oh, hi. Really? I didn't realize there was that many of you there. Really? Really? I'm glad you missed. Well, they took care of that elemental, apparently. Get out of here. Yeah, you run away. Oh, you're dumbasses, you know that? I don't know why they're not attacking, to be quite honest, but I don't care. Do not let the engineer escape. The engineer must survive. Really, game? Oh shit, I killed him! Whoopsies! Did not mean to do that. I shouldn't have done the take off armor part. That was a mistake, actually. Let's try this again. Bow, bow. Wish there was a way to slow him down. Ah, motherfucker. Ow! Ow! Motherfuckers. Good. AP knockoff. Oh, that's very shady. God damn it. Will you stop it? Jerk off. Don't die. Okay, good. Though I'm not near him now. So this is an issue. Can you stop? God damn it, I hate your face, game. Are you kidding me? I can't. I can't reach him. I can't reach him to do it. Oh, this is bad. This is really, really bad, folks. This is so bad. I'm like trying to block him, but this is not good. He might get away. Okay, no, he's okay, good. Really? Thank you. Motherfucker. Help me drag this guy back to the warehouse. We're going to find out what he knows. Let me turn off the AC. I tossed him in? Bullshit. The engineer lies splayed out on the ground, his body trembling violently. Eiger shoves a bottle up his nose and squeezes. The engineer shudders violently, then the trembling begins to subside. She glances at you. An aerosol BZD to help treat the seizures. Bonnie was kind enough to include it in his goodie bag. It won't last long, but it should give Yuli here enough muscular control to answer a few questions. The engineer's voice came out in a trembling stutter. Fuck you, troll. Eiger raises an eyebrow. See, he's talking already. The engineer's eyes burn with hate. Beads of sweat dot his brow as he struggles to control the tremors that rack his body. He takes a deep breath, holds it, and releases it slowly. The trembling begins to subside. Say nothing. The silence stretches. Finally, the engineer speaks. Tell me what you want from me, so I can tell you to go screw yourselves. I wouldn't recommend that, Yuli. You know who I am. I can see it in your eyes. You remember me from the old days, right? Her voice is cold, sharp. You know what I'm capable of, so do yourself a favor. Answer our questions. The orc's eyes shift from Eiger to you. Yes, I know you, troll. But your friend, I do not know. Does he have the stomach for this? Not many do. Hit him. The wind explodes out of the orc's lungs as your fist slams into his belly. His breath stinks of harissa, I don't know what that is, and garlic. After a few panicked seconds, he manages to gasp out a word. Bastard! Hit him again. Language. You slam your fist into the bridge of the engineer's nose. His head whips back, then comes forward again. A trickle of blood leaks from out of his nostrils. He looks you up and down, then gives a slight nod. You're not weak, elf. I'll give you that much. His voice sounds stronger now. The stutter that marred his speech has almost completely faded away. Not strong, but not weak. A few pieces of advice from me to you. Kill me here and now. Do it quick. He fixes his gaze on you. Because if I ever get off this floor, you're dead. First I'll do you, then I'll do your bitch friend, and it will be messy. If you manage to get up off that floor, you'd make it about a step and a half before you started convulsing. You're helpless, Yuli. I admire your optimism. You're not going anywhere, friend. I think I'll step back and let the she-troll respond to that. Eiger steps forward, a cruel smile on her face. You're going to start talking, Yuli. I promise you that. You can start by telling us whose payroll you're on. She grabs a fistful of the orc's hair and lifts his head. Her face is inches from his face. Tell us who sent you to Shadowrun. There's a long pause. Eventually, the engineer looks away. All right, you want to know so badly, I'll tell you. That's a name? Tamanus sent me here. They want to use Shadowrun as a base of operations in Berlin. My point of contact is a ghoul named Beetle. Ghoul? Oh, okay. Maybe, I get it. He leans forward and locks eyes with Eiger. There, you've got your intel. Now set me free or kill me. Yuli. Eiger leans back, shaking her head. You wouldn't roll over on an employee this easily. Your rep tells me that much. He raises an eyebrow and looks of mock astonishment. No? No, Eiger's right. You're jerking us around. You wanted a name. I gave you a name. Also, my throat feels like shit because these stupid... Speaking like this hurts my vocal cords. My goodness. I can name you 100 clients who'd love a piece of Shadowrun. How do you intend to determine who really sent me? You let us worry about that. Oh, I intend to. He wrestles the corner of his mouth up into a smirk. I've got no worries. I already know what my future holds. Maybe you try to reason with me, and that fails. Maybe you try corrosion. That'll get you nowhere too. This is fast. No, I read fast from 2, but you know. You try beating on me, and I start giving names. More names than you know what to do with. Torture me, or don't. It'll end the same. It'll all end in the. Wow. It'll all end the same way. I'll be dead. You'll know nothing for certain, and my clients will move ahead on schedule. Properly, maybe it doesn't have to end that way. Maybe you'll get out of here alive. Help us then if you're already dead. Help us then if you're already dead. Why care about being a snitch? He snorts. I won't give your she-troll the satisfaction. She wants it. That's why she won't get it. Excuse me. Eiger's hands bunch into fists. She's still smiling, but you can feel the heat of the hatred behind her eyes. If you don't start telling me what I want to hear in the next 30 seconds, this is going to get messy. Say nothing. You know, Eiger, he takes his time pronouncing the name, savors it. I'd like to tell you a story. We share so much history, you and I. Eiger says nothing, but her eyes narrow. The engineer continues, his grin broadening. This is a funny story. It's a story about your time in the KSK, a story about futility. I can tell you all about the many lives you've touched, and how the syndicates touched them again afterward. Would you like that? There was a long pause. Eventually, Eiger turns to face you. Hekton, do me a favor. Sweep the building for intel. Anything that we might have missed on the way in. Yeah, I'm on it. Take good care of our friend here. She shoots a disgusted glance at your captive. Yeah, don't worry. I will. Okay, let's see here. Zoom out. James! Okay. Let me do a save. I need to be right back. Ugh, oh my gosh. So I started playing Fallout 4 because I beat both of the both of the Vampire the Masquerade visual novels of New York. That's what I'm gonna call them. But didn't get the true ending or the good ending for Shadows of New York. But I don't feel like replaying it again and being like a badass or whatever. So that's not happening anytime soon. So, meow, I don't care. I mean, either one wouldn't be totally canon because I'm watching, well, I say canon, but I mean, I'm watching New York by Night on YouTube. I can't watch it live because I'm not staying up beyond 3 a.m. for another 3 hours and being awake all day. And all morning. It's not how Dark rolls. Not in university. Actually, no. And when I was in university and I did that like a couple of times, that sucked ass. So we're not doing that. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so I started Fallout 4, and I need to see when that game was made. I know it was made after the Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim, but it's funny because certain actions or certain sound effects are used in both games, and it's quite hilarious. Because when I hear it, I'm thinking, oh, Skyrim. We went through that door, right? Yeah. Also, I also need to figure out the timeline of that because I'm trying to try to figure out. They say you were in cryogenic, what is it called? Whatever, where the type of thing where you like freeze to put someone to sleep to keep them preserved, and that was supposed to be 210 years. I think your robot says over 200. But I don't know what the original date was at the start, because I thought it was supposed to be. They talked about the main character talks about his, but it might be switched if you're the woman. I'm not sure, but your grandfather. But then it says you go to War II later, so I don't know if it's like a dystopian future after World War II because everything still looks like it's from the 50s, so it's kind of confusing. I don't know offhand, so I have to look that up online because that's what's me off is what, like, because I see dates and they say 2075, but I don't know if that was the date of when you were put to sleep or around there. It's very confusing. I have to double check online. Anywho, babbling about that because I've been playing it. And got my first kill, or my own death. I mean, my first death while playing it because I was messing around. It's like to me it's confusing. The UI is not the same, obviously, as Skyrim, mainly because it's just how they have the interface set up, so it's just different. And ignoring Skyrim, it's just confusing because I don't always see where my health is. I know it's like at the bottom left, I think, maybe? I don't really know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this because I forget what your... if it needs what level it's supposed to be, and I might not be at that level to do this next thing. The broken body of a human man lies on the floor. His face is a mess of fresh cuts and congealing blood, and his head is oddly deformed. Despite his wounds, his mouth is twisted into a macabre. It's macabre, right? Not macabre. I'm not sure macabre. Macabre? Maybe it's macabre. But it always sounds like macabre. I don't know. Macabre smile. Inspect the body. Judging by the shape of the ganger's head, you're guessing that his skull has been fractured in at least 3 places. The center of his forehead is particularly gruesome. It looks soft, as though the skin were stretched like a tent between shards of broken bone. Looking up, you can see a great smear of gore on the door of the room that you found him in. The implications are clear. This man bashed his own head in trying to get out, and he did it with a smile on his face. Okay, it is Biotech 4. I wasn't sure if it was 4 or 6. So that's why. Because I remember this. His hands are badly broken too. You've seen these sort of injuries after bare-knuckle fistfights, but never anything this severe. This man punched something hard, and went on punching until his hands were reduced to useless slabs of meat. Biotech 4. Draw a medical conclusion. All of these symptoms point to one thing. Something drove this ganger into a homicidal fury, and the fury didn't die out until he did. You've heard pharmaceuticals that can cause this sort of reaction. PCP, Datura, I don't know, I've not heard that one. Substituted cathinones, I don't know that either. I've only heard of PCP, and I don't even know what that stands for, to be quite honest. Yes, Dark doesn't do drugs other than the medically prescribed ones that he has, and you know, the ones that you take for like fevers and aches and pains and whatnot. But without a lab test, and other sort of ones that he might have heard through TV, movie shows, and video games, computer games, and books. But without a lab test, there's no way for sure, to say for sure what drove him to this. Step away. I wasn't sure if you, because I know when I was playing this before, I clicked on things and then I redo a lot of it. I remember getting frustrated with this part of searching for stuff. Cleaning, storage, chemical storage barrels, jolted, blah 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 blah. Courier drone, it looks melted. The cargo container is empty. This generic courier drone has been snapped together out of prefab parts from a dozen different manufacturers. It's a cheap utilitarian thing. Remarkable only in that it is so incredibly plain. A half-bright teenager could cobble something like this together in an afternoon. The drone sits in a charging cradle, its turbofan unpowered. A cheerful green light blinks on its front panel to remind you that it's still active. You can see the silhouette of something under the flimsy plastic dome of the drone's cargo compartment. Whatever this thing was here to deliver, it's still carrying it. Pop the lid on the cargo container. You depress the catch on the container's plastic lid rather than swinging open. You press the catch on the container's plastic lid. Rather than swinging open, the lid slides back to reveal a touchpad. Looks as though this thing is password locked. Intelligence 2. Examine the drone more closely. Taking a closer look, you notice something strange. There's a set of electrical contact plates lining the lip of the drone's cargo compartment. It's a fair bet that this thing is outfitted with an anti-tampering system of some kind. Yeah, so you don't want to smash the plastic. So we're going to step away because I don't know what the password would be. Really, game? Okie dokie, Smokey. Ledger. There's a small ledger lying on this crate. The cover is cheap leatherette, and the paper is tissue-thin newsprint. Leaf through the pages. The pages are filled to overflowing with handwritten text. You don't recognize the language, but judging by the accent marks, you're guessing it's a Scandinavian tongue. While you can't read it, the arrangement of the text tells you that the ledger is primarily being used as an address book. Pocket the book and move on. Missing ledger. Ledger written in Scandinavian language. Forklift. The forklift tires are flat. Looks like it hasn't been used in ages, years, decades, eons, months, millennia. Yeah, my lunch, my dinner, my blah. Look at me, blah, 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 blah. Wait, where did we enter from? Did we enter from, like, right here? We did, okay. So, in theory, I explored everything around here. Game! As you approach, you can see that the engineer's chest is sheeted with blood. Most of it seems to be streaming from his nose, which has been crushed into a wad of bloody meat. Eiger turns to face you. Her bunched fists are dripping red. Find anything? She speaks to you through clenched teeth. I didn't really do that properly, but whatever. Her voice sounds strained and cheeks are flushed. Thought you said that you weren't going to resort to torture. This isn't torture, it's justice. If you knew half of what this bastard has done, if you'd heard the things that he just told me, you'd do the same. Bringing the tar out of a helpless prisoner isn't justice. Now stand down. Maybe so, but you're on edge and I need you calm. Beating on him isn't helping. Fair enough, just don't get carried away, we need him. She pauses, then turns away. Just tell me what you found. Sorry. Actually, no, I think it was the same, but I can't tell for sure on the shirt. Yeah, yes, please. The engineer's voice is thick and wet. He smiles through a set of gore-streaked teeth. Enlighten us. I found a body in the other room. From the looks of him, he tried using his head to beat down a steel-reinforced door. Interesting, but not unusual in these parts. There are all kinds of drugs that could make a person act that way, and most of them aren't hard to get in a place like Shadowrun. You found anything else? Item journal. I found this ledger. I don't recognize the language, but it looks Scandinavian. Eiger leafs through the journal, quickly flipping the Soikov-stained pages. Norwegian, maybe. I'm thinking that this is written in Bokmal. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sorry, folks. She frowns. I can't read it, but it looks like a shipping manifest. Yeah, something like that. There are a lot of addresses in there. She rifles through the pages, flipping the cheap paper with her thumbnail. Looks like addresses all the way through. Some are annotated, but I can't see any names. 2/3 of the way through the book, she stops short. Find something interesting? Wordlessly, she turns the journal around. At the top of the page, written in a different language, is a single word. It's written in English, but you can understand it all the same. Wednesday. She nods. Yeah, not particularly helpful without a full date, but I guess it's something. Of course, Wednesday might not refer to a day of the week at all. It could be a code for something. Taken out of context like this, it's impossible to say. So what do you make of this? This should be good. Eiger ignores him. Her gaze remains fixed on the book. It might be nothing. Of course, it could mean that he's back in bed with the... freaking Russian. No. Lobachevsky Syndicate. The engineer holds his silence. Say nothing. Did you find anything else? Need to be sure about this before moving on. I must have missed something. I keep searching. God damn it! There is something I'm missing. See, I hate this. Oh, there is. That damn thing that I can't open up. Oh, wait. Wednesday. I just realized Wednesday might be the password for this. That might be for this. Let's enter a password. Oh, it is. Okay. The plastic lid of the cargo container pops open with a click. Inside, you find what appears to be a homemade Simpsons chip. It sits securely in a custom-made plastic bracket. Take the chip. I never thought about this. I never did this. I smashed it when, because I didn't know. I was so annoyed with it. I didn't know. You pop the chip out the first time I played it. You pop the chip out of the bracket and pocket it. A few seconds later, an angry hissing sound comes from somewhere deep within the drone. Step back. I didn't step back on my avatar, didn't do it. As you step away from the drone, the hissing sound grows in a roar. Bright white spikes spit out from the drone's melting chase and streak across the room. There's a chassis. It's a chase or chassis? Either way, it still doesn't look like how it's pronounced. So I don't know offhand. Both are words. You've seen this kind of reaction before. Thermite. Whoever built the drone must have wired it with a self-destruct device. Then seconds, all that's left of the little drone is a molten wreck on the charging cradle. Foul-smelling smoke pours from the remains. You steal another glance at the chip that you recovered and turn away. Homemade Simpsons chip. A homemade Simpsons chip pressed out of generic brand components. Yeah, I've never done this. I'm going to see different dialogue. I mean, I don't remember the other way you do it, but still. Get back. Find anything? Item Simpsons chip. There are a pair of courier drones in the other room. No markings. They looked custom built. One of them had been slagged, but the other had this chip in its storage compartment. When you produce the chip, the engineer's eyes widen slightly. He turns his head and coughs rack his body. Interesting. This means something to you, Yuli? Eiger takes the chip from you and holds it up to the light. No identifying markings. I've seen enough BTLs in my time to know one when I see it, but this is different. It's been modded or modified somehow. Go ahead and slot it, bitch. It'll take you on a ride of your life. Eiger raises an eyebrow. Smack him for me, will you? I'm busy. Eiger, refresh my memory. What's a BTL? He isn't worth the effort. Hit him. Your fist connects with the ruined meat of the engineer's nose. He coughs, chokes on his own blood, and then spits a wad of it onto your chest. Hey, my nice suit. No. You don't know what you're holding, slag. He spits the words out like venom. His eyes are locked on the chip in Eiger's hand. Slowly, he licks his lips. You don't deserve to touch that chip. I think that you're right, Eiger. Our friend here is an addict. I thought this guy was a professional. He is. I know his rep. I know that he's much too careful to get himself addicted to Sims. She glances at the engineer. His eyes are locked on the chip. These things have him hooked this badly. They must be even more addictive than standard BTLs. It's a frightening thought. This wouldn't be the first time that something like that hit the streets. Talk with enough Sim junkies and you'll hear all about it. Interesting. Tell me more. There's a sort of legend on the streets. The ultimate high. They called it 2XS. Huh. Never heard of it. Supposedly, it's hit the streets of Seattle a couple of years ago. Oh, didn't they mention that at the end or something else? Anyway, it vanished after a couple of months. There one day, gone the next. Nobody knows why. Or wasn't it because of the activities that you did? That might have been what was causing it too. I forget. Scary stuff. I haven't heard rumors of anything like that around here, thank God. I'm not saying that this is 2XS or even anything like it, but there are Sims out there that are even stronger than BTLs. It's possible that this is one of them. She turns to face the engineer. You got anything to add to that, Yuli? You have no idea how wrong you are about all of this. He struggles to rise from the floor, but his muscles refuse to cooperate. Finally, he gives up with a scowl. If I could move my arms, I'd take that chip from you and show you what it does. I bet that's what made the other guy crazy. I'm sure that you would. She glances over her shoulder at you. Good find, Hekton. You struck a nerve. Any other thoughts? Yeah, actually. I think that I might know where the other chip went. Remember that body I found in the other room? Yeah, good thought. Go check it out, but be quick. I don't know how long it'll be before we have company here. I'm on it. Even though, you know, I'm the boss and all, but sure, whatever. The room body lies crumpled on the floor. Its fractured skull glistens wetly in the light. Search for the missing chip. Where are my gloves so I don't get some messed up disease or infection or STI? You know, well, it could be maybe STI, STD. I mean, they're gangers after all, sharing needles and shit and whatnot. I mean, come on now, let's be real. Dark. That's a stereotype against gang members. Well, yeah, rightly so. Anywho, I thought this is peeling back a patch of matted hair. You find something that a casual viewer would have missed. The man had a chip jack. It's a cheap model, sufficient for holding SimSense chips and BTLs, but little else. It doesn't take much effort for you to pry it open. No sound effect? Inside the... We're so gross sounding because of this messed up head. Which is funny because it looks like his body has... Well, I guess it makes sense. Ramming your head in. It would go on your chest. Inside the chip jack... That's just... I don't know why. The words don't fit right in my mouth. Yeah, so it seems hard for me to pronounce. You find a glob of plastic. Excuse me. It looks as though whatever this guy was running melted down sometime after he slotted it. A chipjack like this couldn't generate enough heat to destroy a Simpsons chip. The only logical conclusion is that the chip itself was wired to melt down after use. Take the burned out chip and leave. Melted Simpsons chip. Ah, wrong button. A melted glob of plastic that you found in the chip jack of a dead gamer. The engineer's eyes remained locked on the chip. His face has gone pallid white, and his shirt is drenched with sweat. His eyes bulge, and his breathing is heavy. Eiger glances up from your mana captive and looks you into the eye. Found what you were looking for? Item. Melted Simpsons chip. Yeah. I pried his chip jack open and found a blob of melted plastic inside. It was so warm to the touch. Reusing the same BTL over and over again. I'd say that you found our missing chip. Yeah, I agree, but the ganger who slotted this wasn't blissed out like a normal sim junkie. It was almost the opposite. He looked wild, like a madman. I don't know who would willingly slot something like this. It drove him to kill himself, and from the look, I enjoyed every second of it. This isn't a BTL. BTLs don't make you cave your own skull in. I'll do the middle one. The engineer lets out a chuckle. It's a hoarse, barking sound. You don't know a damned thing. Why don't you educate us? I know that we have something you want, something you're willing to die for. I know that you'd love to get your hands on that chip Eiger's holding. If you could move your hands, that is. Internet, stop being dumb. Let's do the last one. Hatred burns in the engineer's stare. He struggles to rise from the floor, but after a few seconds of ineffectual thrashing, he gives up. You really want this thing, don't you? She waves the chip in front of his eyes. This is junkie behavior. Whatever this thing is, you're hooked on it. And somehow it didn't burn him. It's probably because the guy had a cheap chip jack model. That's probably why. A look of pure hatred. The chip is everything. Everything it's worth dying for. I was ignorant once, like you, but then my eyes were opened and I saw the chip. Saw it one and you become a god. Eiger stares at him, her expression flat. The engineer sneers. I too was a skeptic. Then the wolf caught me, and the raven opened my eyes, and now, at last, I can see. Suddenly he lurches forward. Every muscle in his body goes taut, and the cords stand out on his neck. Give me the chip. It was promised to me. I need it. Tell us who you're working for, and it's all yours. The engineer spits out a mouthful of blood. It hits the tile floor with a sickening splat. He grinds his teeth, then snarls out a single word. Winter night. Seems like a type of, chewing gum with sugar-free chewing gum for a mint. A type of mint. There's a moment of silence. Finally, Eiger speaks. Never heard of them. Of course you haven't, bitch. If you had, you'd already be dead. They don't leave loose ends. His body begins to tremble. It looks like the drugs are wearing off. They have money, she-troll. Money and influence enough to put the syndicates to shame. Even I cannot say how much. But I do know that what I've seen is just the tip of the spear. Alright, let's say that you're telling the truth, and some sort of secret society is behind this. What do they want with Shadowrun? They do not tell me these things. All I know is that they will want to store things here. Crates, boxes, shipped in from all over. No cargo inspections, and no traces back to them. What are they shipping? Well, what are they shipping in? Weapons, drugs, or these BTLs? He eyes her incredulously. You think that I asked them? It is not my place to know. All that I know is what was promised to me. Give me the chip. His voice comes out in a shivering screech. You promised. He promised you the chip. Eiger smiles at the engineer. Slowly, she pulls a knife from her belt. Its serrated edge glints in the light. I, on the other hand, didn't offer you a goddamn thing. She's got you there. Eiger leans in to look the Eiger in the eye. The Eiger in the eye? The engineer in the eye. She grins. Goodbye, Yuli. Even if you say Eiger put the dagger away, I did that the first time, she still kills him. It doesn't matter. He dies. She plunges her blade into the engineer's throat. The orc lets out a startled gurgling sound, thrashes and dies. Eiger wipes her hands clean and looks up, an expression of grim satisfaction on her face. Well, that takes care of that. Thanks for the assist, fearless leader. Anytime, ready to head back to the Kuspasar? We need to let the F-State know about this. No problem, but we aren't done yet. We still have winter night to deal with. Can't do it, fearless leader. What you're suggesting is beyond the scope of our capabilities. I don't have any contacts in Norway. We wouldn't even know where to begin looking for winter night. And if we found them, what then? The two of us aren't going to stop an international conspiracy at our own. We're good, but we're not that good. Speak for yourself. We got a point there. We'll let the Flux-State handle it. Good call. Now, there's just one more thing that I want to do before we head back home. She gestures at the engineer's lifeless body. We'll still need to search the bastard. Who knows? Maybe he has some additional evidence on him. Or in him. Could be that he... Wait, what? No, that is grammatically correct, and my mind is not working in reading this context. Could be that he has headwear, some storage. We won't know until we go digging. Alright, let's get this over with. Time passes. The job is long and unpleasant, but eventually you find something. A hidden storage compartment in one of the engineer's cyber arms. Deactivated as his cyberware is. It takes some prying to get it open. Yeah, it says deactivated, but he's still flashing there. No. But Eiger leans in and puts some muscle into it. With a metallic snapping sound, the component yawns open. Eiger reaches in and pulls out a cylindrical object about the size of a beer can. That was in his brain? Or where? It wasn't his cock region, was it? It wasn't his nether region, was it? It's truly a beer can cock shape. Oh, I'm tired. She inspects it, and a smile creeps across her face. Does that mean something to you? Yeah, actually, it's a pulse grenade. The last I heard, the Russian military were developing them as crowd dispersal devices, but that was years ago. Looks like Yuli kept a memento of his time in the Spitsnaz. Spitsnaz. I don't know how it's pronounced. Excuse me. She examines the grenade with a critical eye. It looks like typical Russian engineering. Clunky, but functional. If I took this thing apart, I bet that I could figure out how they made it. Anything else in there? She dips her hand into the secret component one more time. No, not that I can. Without warning, the engineer's cyber arms began to twitch. His body bucks convulsively while his dead eyes stare straight ahead. Eiger snatches her hand back and steps backward. What the he... The engineer's body surges forward, a violent, convulsive motion. His eyes bulge out of his skull, then his chest evaporates in a spray of light. As you watch, the chemical fire that rages from the engineer's body blackens his flesh and spits sparks across the room. Same reaction that you saw when the drone went up, a thermite reaction. His employers, Winternight, they must have implanted that thing in him. Yeah, must have. I'm willing to bet that if we hadn't used the cyberware deactivator on him, he'd have gone up before he had the chance to spill any names. If you were looking for further proof, I think that this was it. Yeah, looks that way. Let's go. People need to know about this. Okay, so I literally have to walk out. Thanks, game. You can't just warp me out. F you. Game! It's the same area, too, that screws up. That's the thing. Yes, sir. The Crucipassar. The U-Bahn, sorry, not U-Bahn. The U-Bahn whisks you back toward the Crucipassar. Eiger standing by your side. We're not sitting down? What the fudge? The image of the engineer's body disintegrating in flame replays itself over and over in your head. The bright flash, the show of sparks, the overpowering stench of sizzling meat. A blue-green afterimage hangs suspended in the center of your field of vision, and it refuses to be blinked away. From what Eiger told you, the engineer was a menace, an international criminal at the top of his game. And as you watched, he was consumed from within by a device that marked him as disposable. And maybe also, well, they also got him hooked on narcotics, so yeah. Well, I guess technically it's not a narcotic, but it is. The radar of your U-Bahn car coming to a halt shakes you from your reverie, your home. Well, I find weirdest that you can take these to all these places, even places that are like riddled with gangs, and then the gangs don't do anything. we control this. Stop, biatches, move along. You know, it's so weird. It baffles me, some of this stuff, but I guess in an F state, a flux state, wow. Revolving anarchy door. in our door. 2 karma points. Bam, 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 bam. Any talk up here? No? No? Okay. Well, I'm gonna head out immediately for the next team member side quest. Although I'm gonna check in with Liz. I don't think they will have comments about the team members thing. Yes, I thought. So I think it's just for the previous thing. Actually, I should probably... Oof. First of all, I'll probably get some money. Okay. Actually, anything? No. Oh, there are. Energy sources? Got solar panels like everybody, but does anyone have experience with these mana turbine services? I'm off the grid, so there are some times when I need to do some late night decking or maintenance on my telescoping lens. Is that the thing where a mage comes by and drops some juice into a generator? My buddy was telling me about them last week. The turbine spins the mana around and the charge lasts for weeks, he said. They're a scam, chummer. That mage is going to be out there with your money before you realize how much power you've actually got. You're better off peddling a bike battery. That's state protection. The Reiters have it on good authority that the Lepchevsky Syndicate is eyeing Shatanest for expansion. For the good of the Flux, we should keep a watchful eye on the situation. See attached files for more details. Dragonfall writers. Okay, bad news for Shatanest. But if the Rambulk isn't going to stop them, and I hear Surf Turf is out of the picture, well, I'm sure there's some holy club out there who wants that piece of the pie. I know we've got enough of them. I know that Humanis has some presence there, but I doubt they'll fight the Russians too much. I'd say they're far more likely to form a partnership. We're posting this thread, okay. Okay, what comments do you have about that mission? Talked about the last run. Let's talk about what happened with the engineer. She nods. Agreed. I'm ready to go over it if you are. So the engineer was working for a secret society. I was expecting that. Neither was I, she frowns. Part of me is still having trouble believing it, but it's true. It really wasn't lying. I could see it in his eyes. Have you been able to do any digging on Winter Night, since you arrived somehow back at HQ before I did? When I left that room to search for clues, the engineer told you something that pushed you over the edge. You said that you thought you could reverse engineer that pulse grenade that you pulled from the engineer. Any luck with that somehow? Yeah, actually, it wasn't too difficult to pull the thing apart and see what what made it tick. She smiles. Making one of my own was a different story, but I got it in the end. She searches into her desk and grabs a cylindrical object. Gently, she lifts it up and hands it to you. Meet the newest addition to my arsenal. I call it the voltaic grenade. It's based on the same principles as the Russian pulse grenade, but with a few tweaks of my own. Nice. So these things were designed for crowd control? What sort of tweaking are we talking about? Mine has a lot more bite than the original. I bumped up the amperage quite a bit. When that thing goes off, it'll both shut down the nervous system and cook the organs of anyone in its blast radius. Wow. And back the grenade. Sounds nasty. She nods and tucks the weapon back into her desk. It is. You wouldn't want to be on the wrong end one of these. Except when, you accidentally fuck up when throwing it, or when it's hard to read who should be in that radius and you're wrong. Story of my life. AC back on. I almost am tempted to turn off this fan. For now, I've only managed to make one voltaic grenade. They aren't the easiest things in the world to manufacture or the cheapest. She nods thoughtfully. I should be able to scrounge up enough raw materials to put a new one together between each run. So you only have one per run? That's better than nothing, I suppose. Sounds good to me. Can we talk about something else? I have anywhere to be. If you have questions, ask away. Have you been able to do any digging on Winter Night? No, there just isn't much reliable information out there. Whoever these guys are, they're very good at information control. None of my contacts could find anything but rumor and conjecture, and most of that is too crazy to even consider. Just because it sounds nuts, that doesn't mean it isn't true. This world has more than enough crazy to go around. True, but what I've been hearing about Winter Night is straight up mental. We're talking stories about magical nukes and the end of the world, Fenris shamans, Ragnarok, that kind of thing. She shakes her head. Like I said, nuts. Yeah, the most powerful corporation in the world is run by a dragon. Like I said, crazy things happen. Maybe they're running a disinformation campaign, planting strange rumors to create plausible deniability. That's what I was thinking, yeah. Corporations and governments do it all the time. Why not these guys? Anyway, we stopped them cold in Chateau Nest. Whatever their business is, whatever was going to be in those crates that the engineer was having shipped there, it isn't our problem anymore. The Crucible is safe, on that front at least. Yeah, it is, and we've got you to thank for that. And you, don't downplay what you did back there. Anyway, we shouldn't let it go to our heads. Or get, same difference. We still have a dragon to worry about. And when I left that room to search for clues, the engineer told you something. Something that pushed you over the edge. Her eyes narrow. That son of a bitch said a lot of things. What of it? What do you think? I want to know what he told you. He knew that we needed him, but you beat him badly. I'm worried about that lapse of control. Oh, nothing. I just wanted to thank you for knocking him down a peg. The last one. Her lips curl into a smirk. He didn't need it, didn't he? You're welcome, fearless leader. It was my pleasure. I don't have a follow-up, just expressing my appreciation. Say, just out of curiosity, what was it that he said to you anyway? The smirk falls away from her face. She sighs. Yeah, I saw that coming. It's you after all. But with all due respect, it's none of your business, fearless leader. Isn't it? You beat the tar out of that man because of what he told you. Meh, meh, meh. I don't want to fight you on this, Eiger. If this is too personal for you, we can drop it. She nods slowly. Yeah, that'd be best. So, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about? If so, if you have any other concerns, then voice them. That's all, Eiger. Thanks for the talk. Thank you, fearless leader. But for the chat, both for the chat and for this assist on the run. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about? Nothing right now, Eiger. All right, time to go on another mission. First, we save. Now, this next mission, well, at a certain part, I like died a couple of times and luckily got through. I think I just got lucky. So, but I think I'm at a better understanding of my characters. Like, you do the main story stuff first, because these side ones you don't get a lot of money and or karma points or karma for to up stuff. So, yeah. Dante, you coming with? So Dante, just question. How did you get down the ladder and how are you going to get back up the ladder when I leave you here? Can you explain that one to me, Dante? Just saying. Where is this van located, honestly? Stella. The drive from the Kruspasar to the Schunbuk forest was a long one. For over 6 hours, you and Glory rode in relative silence, with only the sounds of the road for company. 6 fucking hours, jeez. Now you find yourself crouching in the woods, watching, waiting. Off in the distance, the rustic exterior of Fürstella looks curiously warm and inviting, but you know what's waiting inside. The anticipation churns at your guts like a living thing. Eventually, a van pulls out of the compound's driveway and rolls out along a service road before disappearing from view. Glory gives you a nod and begins to scramble forward. Haro, has left the building. It's time for you to make your way inside. Wait, what? Did I use 2 of these? I don't really know. Okay, first of all, I need that. And let's do that. And... oh yeah, one was the mech taser or whatever, or biotic taser, not biotic, but like cybernetic taser or whatever. That's 20. That's 16. Let's grab that one. Game! Leave me alone. The weathered edifice of Fürstella looms above you, dark and sinister in the chill night air. Despite the horrifying stories that Glory told you about this place, something about it feels strangely comforting. In the back of your mind, inside insidious voices whisper that you could stay here forever. Do you feel that? The allure of this place? Glory gestures with a limb of chrome and steel. When I was a kid, when I was whole, the pull was irresistible. Yeah, they do it for children. It's so effed up. Yes, I can feel it. It's almost pleasant. Yeah, I feel it, but that doesn't change what we have to do. Are you sure that you're ready for this, Glory? There's no shame in turning back. It's almost pleasant. It's meant to be. That's how it gets to you. It worms its way inside of you, changes you, and you don't even realize what's happening until it's too late. She looks at you, and her eyes are dark. When she speaks again, her voice is quiet but steady. You're going to see some terrible things here, Hekton. Fear Stella exists to prey on the young, and we're going to have to come face to face with that. Are you sure that you're prepared for this? Homicidal cult children? Of course! When you say the young, how young do you mean? I need to know what we're walking into. I'm curious. Teenagers, mostly, 16 through 18. Though there is the rare exception. Make me feel uneasy. So not that young, then, not children. There was a time when Haro played with luring younger children here, but he found them to be more trouble than they were worth. Well, yeah. The younger the child, the more likely that someone might come looking for them. And maybe that. Better to stick with the lost, desperate souls who've already spent years on the street. They're cast-offs that nobody cares about. Lord knows there are enough of them out there. So I'll ask you again, are you ready for this? Okay, sorry. I know! Dark, that's not the right time. Morbid sense of humor. Make things... Actually, that's not really morbid, it's just me doing music. Connecting it with other stuff. I need an honest answer. I'm ready as I'm going to be. She studies your face for a moment longer, then looks away. Good. You want to compare notes? Make sure that we're both on the same page? She nods. We take Haro out of commission. You were right when you said that we couldn't afford to let him live. Even if we completely destroyed this place, it'd all be for nothing if he got away. He'd just start another cult somewhere else. Any suggestions on how we should approach this? This is your run, Glory. I'm just here to help you see it through. So what do we do first? We kill Haro, yeah, but I think we should try to save the cultists here too. Planning on that would be a mistake. This is going to be difficult enough as it is. If we don't focus our efforts on one thing or the other, we're going to fail at both. If we get an opportunity to rescue some cultists along the way, we'll take it, but that goes without saying. But barring that, we should stay focused on killing Haro. Fair enough, we stick with the plan and kill Haro. You know how you want to approach this? We'll do that one. Yeah. We're going to take out that shrine that Haro uses as his power focus. We can't touch him while that thing is standing, but after we bring it down, he'll be vulnerable. Tell me about the shrine. It's a lump of rock about as tall as I am, inscribed with runes and encrusted with bone. The shrine's power comes from an entity that Haro bound into the stone. Something very old and very dangerous. A toxic spirit. In many ways, it is the heart of this place. We can't touch Haro while the shrine is intact. If we try, he'll siphon enough power from it to slaughter us where we stand. But if we confront the shrine and kill the spirit, the astral backlash from its death will cripple him, and all we will have to do is finish him off. I want to hash out a few more details before we head inside. That makes sense. If you have any questions, it'd be best if you ask them now. So we make our way to the shrine and then what? Take it out with explosives? Breaking the shrine, or breaking the rock won't work. We'll have to take on the spirit directly, track it to where it lives and kill it. She pats the satchel that hangs from her shoulder. I brought what we'll need to do that. I can't tell you exactly how this is going to go down, Hekton. The spirit itself will have a good deal of control over that. But you'd better prepare yourself, because I think that this is going to be one hell of a fight. I don't care about the other ones. I think I know everything that I need to. Let's get moving. She nods and the razors flick out of her fingertips. I'm with you. Let's do it. Okay, Miss Edward Scissorhands. Okay, Edwina Scissorhands. No. Keep Lori safe. Get to the shrine. All right. Vroom vroom on your bike. No. I don't think I can go anywhere else. Weird. Okay. The doorway shimmers with a faint red light. As you approach the door, you can feel a squirming sensation in the back of your skull. I can actually fight through it. Your limbs begin to tingle, then feel heavy. The closer that you are, or that you get to the doorway, the more of a struggle it is to continue. It is to continue moving forward. It is to continue moving forward. Sorry, I didn't. That was a new sentence. The commas and periods are hard for me to see. It feels as though the strength is being siphoned from your body. As you step away from the door, the crawling sensation gradually recedes. A moment later, the strength returns to your limbs. Glory stares into the light, frowning. The shrine room is through there, but this barrier wasn't here before. Hara must have warded the doorway after I ran. How do we get through? The ward is like a lock. There must be a key. Back when I helped Hara run this place, he and I were the only ones allowed in the shrine room. So we look for whoever has taken my place. That's where the key will be. How will we know who that is? It'll be a girl. Hara would never take a male as a second. He wouldn't want the competition. And her hair will be fire red. It's a sort of insignia of rank within the cult. Girl with red hair, got it. Or I will power through it. Do. You can hear a distant murmuring sound coming from inside the room. Voices. There may be 4 people all talking amongst themselves. You can't make out what they're saying, but one of the voices sounds desperate. You've heard the tone before. It's the sound of a man pleading for his life. We should keep moving. We should keep moving. Whatever's going on in there, we don't want to get involved. One of the cultists in there could have the key. Maybe, but that's a big if. I can guarantee you that if we open that door, they're going to attack us, key or no key, and then we'll have no choice but to kill them. I'm here to kill Haro, not the poor blind fools who follow him. They'll get hurt when the shrine goes down, but I don't want to kill them unless we absolutely have to. At the very least, we should search through the rest of the compound first. Put the ear to the door. I'm not leaving without knowing what's going on in that room. You strain your ears to hear what the people in the other room are saying. As you focus, the sound crystallize and become clear. You shouldn't have come here. The tools of government aren't welcome at your Stella. You hear a soft sound. You recognize it instantly. A blade being drawn from its sheath. We have a use for people like you. Scared male voice. Please, think about this. I have kids at home, not much younger than you. Voice is low and full of dread. I'm not here to represent any government. I'm not a threat to you. I was only doing my job. You're wearing a uniform. That makes you a tool and a pawn in our enemy. Haro said so. I'm just a park ranger. I'm only here to do a wildlife survey. I didn't even know that you people were out here. But now you do. And if you leave this place, others will find out. You brought this on yourself. No, please! The voice dissolves into a long, piercing scream. Step back from the door. You're right. We can't afford to help this man. Okay, this is what we do. We reload this, and it never actually happened. Because, you know, things don't happen at the same time, or will eventually happen, until you actually check it out. Also, I didn't make teenager-sounding voices. I mean, some teenagers have deeper voices. Skip that door. Check on this door. Your voice is speaking in low tones through the wood of the door. You can't make out the words, but regular choruses of rough laughter tell you that the people on the other side are enjoying themselves. Those voices belong to Haro's acolytes. They'll have some magical training, and they like hurting people. You open that door, and we're going to have to fight. We're going to have a fight on our hands. Looking for a key to get past that warded door. Could the girl who has it be in there? There's a pause before she responds. Yes, it's a definite possibility. When I was Haro's second, I practically lived in that room. What is it? A dorm or a lounge or something? Her mouth tightens. Yes, you could call it that. A special place for Haro's inner circle. The acolytes and the bait girls and Haro's wives. Marta and I used to spend a lot of time in there. Open the door. We're going in. Be ready. Can I, like, be in a better position? Fuck you, game. Fuck you, game! God damn it, that was only two... We're gonna redo... I'm redoing this. That's so annoying. That's so annoying! It hit twice? What the fuck? Fuck you, game. You suck. Excuse me. Burping lasagna. That. Yeah, store-bought lasagna. There's no, like, lasagna plate or any good Italian places that do lasagna here. If there were, it'd be overpriced. I'm going to make a save over there when I get back over there. And hopefully stand in a position that isn't going to be... Okay, this should be good. Horrible for me. They're actually going to have to come out. Oh, you're in a place of power. I don't like that. Damn it, you hit me back. I don't like that. Ouchie. Yeah, stupid acid screws that up. That is really annoying. Something in there I want to see. Hanging against the wall, you find a grimy photograph that has been mounted to a wooden panel. The wood looks like it was recovered from a construction site. It's rough, splintery stuff, and there are a few nails jutting out of it at odd angles. The photo depicts a pair of teenage girls in ratty clothes posing against a forested backdrop. The two are entwined in a loving embrace. One is leaning in to plant a kiss on the other's cheek. Doesn't really, they didn't really depict that well on there. And the other one is smiling. The smiling girl has a head of fire red hair. It takes a moment to realize what you're looking at. The red-haired girl is Glory in the picture. She looks vibrant, happy, and alive. You don't recognize the other girl's face, but from what Glory has told you of her past, you'd guess that it's probably Marta. Glory stares at the photo. Her face is devoid of expression. After a moment, she closes her eyes. She looked good as red, Jesus. Also, she was a teenager. That's disturbing. Is this a picture of you and Marta? Yeah, yes. Taken during the early days, shortly after I arrived here. Haro was holding the camera. He told us how sweet we were and how happy he was to have us here. She shakes her head. This place, these people. I loved them so much. What a goddamned fool I was. A glint of light catches something small and delicate hanging from one of the nails in the wood. Leaning in, you can see the object clearly. A thin ring made of braided silver wires. Glory, know anything about this ring? Marta gave that to me on the day that this photo was taken. She said that she made it for me. I left it behind when I left this place behind. Maybe Marta still has feelings for you. Stranger things have happened. Trophy, perhaps? She stares at you. Haven't you been paying attention? Marta never cared about me. She was bait. It was her job to lure me here. Me, and 100 other kids like me. The ring doesn't mean anything. Then why did she keep it? I don't know. She stares at the ring for a long moment, then snatches it from the picture frame. She tucks it away into her satchel. It was mine, so I'm taking it. Now let's keep moving. Glory's ring. I don't have it. A handmade ring of braided silver wire. Let's look at the clothes. A dirty and torn shirt lies discarded on the ground. The fabric is spattered with blood. Glory stares down at it, unblinking. An initiate must have worn that in here. It's way too small for an acolyte. Voice is soft and sad. Maybe he did something to offend Haro, or maybe a member of the inner circle was in the mood for sport. Doesn't matter either way. She looks away. The owner of this shirt doesn't need it anymore. Really disturbing. I didn't get healed up, did I? No, fuck you, game. That's the issue with this, is that there's a lot of different fights, and like, when I did this first time, I ran out of healing items, literally, and it was like bullshit. Van. Glory pauses at the side of the van. She traces the side of it with a claw. I remember cruising the back alleys of Tübingen, looking for kids in need of help. The bait girls, Marta and the others like her, would offer them money or food or drugs or sex, whatever it took to get them into the van, and once they piled in, Haro and I would be waiting to greet them. I remember so many nights like that. She frowns. I remember how much I used to enjoy it. In all that time, nobody ever caught you? Coming back here shows integrity, Glory. Most runners that I know wouldn't have done what you're doing tonight. You're not the same person that you were back then. Let's do the middle one. Nobody ever seemed to care. These were street kids, remember? They didn't have money or influence or families. Nobody was out looking for them. Honest, I don't know if anyone ever this one or this one. This is the initiate's dormitory. The new arrivals are brought here. There's still hope for these kids, Hekton. Haro hasn't had a chance to ruin them yet. Good to know. We'll try to get them out of here. Glory raises a hand, suddenly alert. Wait. Listen. Movement on the other side. Listen closely. You strain your ears to listen. Soft voices from inside of the room come drifting out of a nearby vent. You hear a woman's voice. The sound is crisp and smooth and sweet, and it instantly puts you at ease. Calm now, dear. It's probably nothing. No need to worry yourself. We're so far off the beaten track, we don't get a lot of visitors. Out of the corner of your eye, you see Glory's back stiffen. She flinches as though she's been stung. Damn it! I should have done the other door. Another voice, high-pitched and pleading, an adolescent boy. But what if it is? Well, what if it is someone? What if what if the bad people have found us? What if they followed me here and they've come to? The female voice cuts in, soft and comforting. Well then, we'll send them away. You're perfectly safe here. You have to believe that. Don't worry, dear heart. Haro won't let anyone hurt you. Not here, in this place. Not ever again. You hear another boy's voice. This one is deeper. Are you certain, Marta? Positive. Be calm, all of you. As long as you're here with us, nothing bad will ever happen to you. Is that your Marta, Glory? She gives a curt nod. Not mine. Or not mine. Haro's. But she's the Marta from my story. Yes. What do you want to do? Objective added. Confront Marta. Glory pauses, grits her teeth. Finally, she spits out an answer. If she's still here, she'll be Haro's number one. My old position. He had his way with all of us, but he was always sweet of Marta. That means she'll have the key to the shrine room. In that case, we're going to have to find a way to get it away from her. Then we storm in there and take it from her. You ready for this? To do this? Maybe we can talk to her, convince her to give us the key. Maybe, but not here, and not now. Those kids in there, they'd all die for her. They already love her. That's what she does. We can't risk confronting her in that room. If the situation turns ugly, and one of those kids will happily eat a bullet for her. And that's not what I came here to do. What you said about her is true, then she deserves to die of it. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. But we gotta get her, and she's in the way of it. Yes, she is. Sorry, I'm muttering and blah, and I'm gonna probably quit soon just because I'm tired of my throat. Yes, she is. But we deal with her later. I won't hurt any more kids voluntarily. Marta's voice floats back out through the door vent. Hush now, boys, and get some rest. You've got a big day tomorrow. The biggest day of your lives. You get to meet Haro. I promise you, after you speak with him, you'll see the whole world in a different way. A better way. The adolescent voice trembles out a response. All right, Marta. Have a good night. A lovely musical laugh pours through the vent. You too, dear heart. All of you. Hear the distant sound of a door sliding shut. Lloyd takes a deep breath and releases it. The coast is clear. We can handle the initiates. They're just a bunch of scared kids. Without Marta there to egg them on, they won't try anything. Okay, let me save first. Because this can get screwy. It happened to me! The door. The initiate closest to the door whips his head up to look at you. He takes a step backward in alarm, then opens his mouth to cry for help. You don't want to do that. Glory looks deep into the initiate's eyes, transfixing him. We're not here to hurt you. Etiquette, street. If we wanted to kill you, you'd already be dead. You've lived on the street. You know how this works. Slowly, the initiate seems to calm down. I don't know which one it is. Yeah, you're right. But if you don't want to hurt anyone, why are you here? We just want to have a word with Marta. A private word between old friends. Understand? There's your notes. Yeah, that's cool, I guess. And what about you? Oh, you're a female. Oh, that's the other part. So it might have been the deep-voiced one. You're male initiate. Marta is just on the other side of this door. However, we're going to have to move quickly afterward. If she dies... Okay, what? What? I touched the female initiate! This is so weird. The game... If she dies, Hara will know it, and I don't trust her to keep her mouth shut if she lives. So we take the key to the shrine room, break through the ward, and confront the spirit. Are we clear on that? We'll come back to this then. There are a few things I want to check out on the compound first. She nods. Alright, but we shouldn't take too much time. We need to get that key before Hara returns. Okay. Game, that is not a door. That's a door. Jesus. That's so dumb. Oh, Jesus, how many more doors are there? Oh my, I didn't realize... Oh my gosh, okay. I didn't realize how many more doors there are. I forgot how this compound worked. I knew it confused me. Terminal. Too bad I don't have decking. This appears to be a certain terminal. A login prompt glows on the screen. Well... Large book. An ostentatiously large tome sits cradled on the pedestal, on this pedestal. The paper is robust and fibrous, and the binding has been expertly stitched from human flesh. A steel plate running along the book's spine anchors it to the pedestal. Glory stares down at it, frowning. Haro's manifesto. The handcrafted line of bullshit that he feeds to his initiates. We all ate it up with a smile and came away convinced that he was a genius. She leafs through the pages with an articulated finger. Looks like he's expanded it over the last few years. It's at least twice as thick as it was when I lived here. Excuse me. Maybe there's something in there that we can use. I wouldn't want to hang around long enough to find out. This is Hara's personal library. He used to experiment in here. There were dangerous things in here, Hekton. Sick things. I was never allowed in this room without Hara. Nobody was. He said that it was for our safety, and I think that he was telling the truth. She pauses. I feel uneasy being in here. I don't want to stay any longer than we have to. Maybe things have changed. We didn't have any trouble getting in, did we? I just wrote, back to you. I've been on edge since we came in, but doesn't change the fact that we should learn what we can. Hara's added to the manifesto. It could be important. I'm going to take a look. Alright, I'll watch your back, but try to be quick. To the manifesto. You flip through the early pages of the manifesto, find what looks like a good place to jump in and start to read. I don't know what voice to give this kook, especially since I'm probably going to forget it because I'm going to end soon. When I first set out on the path to free living, I've realized that I'd have to rethink all of my earlier assumptions about life. I'd have to question my own values and beliefs, and I need the strength to trust in the answers that came to me. The prospect was daunting, but it was also necessary. The road to true freedom is paved with unanswered questions. After all, you can't learn to be free from a book. The answers won't come from a Bible, an instruction manual, or a code of conduct. If you don't learn that, You'll never break your chains, even though you have a manifesto and that's a book. If it was only spoken, I will agree with you on that. The path to true freedom is one that each of us must walk on his or her own. What makes life worth living? What in life is truly valuable? And what is the draw... I was right. Dark was right. What is the dross? That isn't cross. It is dross. Yeah. What is the dross that can be burned away? I spent weeks dissecting every aspect of my life to find the answers to these questions. Slowly, agonizingly, I'm tired. I pared down, because I thought peered, preened, don't ask, prayed. No, it was prayed and peered. Those are the words that popped up, not preened. I don't know. No. I pared down the list until only 4 items remained. These 4 items became the cornerstone of my new philosophy and the basis for everything that Flux-State stands for. Love. The first cornerstone and the most... I have to remember this, I believe. Love. The first cornerstone and the most important. Without love, life is bland and meaningless. Without love, we might as well be machines. Love what you do. Love the people around you. But above all, love yourself. Even megalomaniac, cultist people still talk about loving yourself above all else. No more kings. Your life is your own. Lash out against anyone or anything that tries to treat you like property. An assault on your freedom is an assault on your whole being. And it must be met with an equally ferocious response. Charity. The third cornerstone. A miserly life is an empty life. If each of us is his or her own master, then nobody should live as a serf. By helping others along the path to enlightenment, so do we enrich our own lives. Excuse me. Passion. The final chronostone. Yeah, cornerstone. Complacency is a poison. Be wary of it. Ambition is the key to a fulfilling life. You sound like a business person. Okay. Don't settle for what is. If you do, you abandon what could be. You hear a rustling sound behind you. Glory. Turning, you can see a troubled look on her face. That ominous feeling is getting stronger, Hekton. It feels like we're being watched. Leave the journal alone. Maybe come back for it. Also, she got stuck. You might come back for it, I don't know for sure. It's in the refrigerator. Drugs? Oh, this! As you open the refrigerator door, a whiff of ammonia sticks in your nostrils. Watery light glints off of the door's polished interior. The fridge is stacked full of large plastic bins, all tightly sealed and neatly labeled. It's hard to tell through the opaque plastic, but they appear to be full of meat. Inspect the containers. You pop the lid of a container to take a closer look. The first thing that hits you is the smell. The meat in here is beyond rancid. White mold frosts the sides of the bin, and it's all that you can do to keep from gagging. As you rush to put the lid back on, you recognize a familiar shape in the rotten meat. A mangled human hand. Is this what I think it is? Gloria's voice is flat. Ritual supplies. The adversary prefers them aged. Harrow. I get the picture. I warned you that you'd see things you didn't want to in here. You weren't lying. She turns away from you. Come on, let's keep moving. Yeah, I'm not gonna... I mean, she had to have done it. Okay. So I'm gonna end it here. I might go back after this to that book. I forget what happens. I think it might be a stats thing that happens next, and whether or not you... a stats check. I don't remember. But this mysterious door, what's behind it in this crazy cult manner? We'll come back to it on Friday. I'm like, what is today? Today's a Wednesday. Friday. And this has been DarkElf85 on YouTube, or Hekton the Mage here on PSN. And this has been Shadowrun, Dragonfall Director's Cut. I hope you all have a very good rest of the day, night, or anywhere in between. Stay safe out there, folks, and goodbye.